नमस्कार डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट्स। एक कहावत है कि फौज में कभी भी रैंक्स डू नॉट रिटायर। जी हाँ, आर्म्ड फोर्सेस पर्सनल्स रिटायर हो सकते हैं, लेकिन रैंक्स कभी रिटायर नहीं हो सकती। चलिए इंट्रोड्यूस करता हूं ब्रिगेडियर अमर नारायण सर को। ब्रिगेडियर अमर नारायण सर, 38 लॉन्ग इयर्स इन इंडियन आर्मी। मतलब पहले मैं बड़ा परेशान हो रहा था कि ब्रिगेडियर साहब के साथ बैठ के वीडियो बना पाऊंगा या नहीं बना पाऊंगा। सर, वो कहते हैं ना कि फौज से आदमी जरूर जा सकता है, लेकिन आदमी से फौज नहीं जा सकता।
एकदम सही बोला आपने। You are right.
हम लोग प्लान कर रहे थे शूट का और टाइम दिया 11 बजे का, सर पहले ही पहुंच गए। तो ऐसे ब्रिगेडियर साहब हैं सर। 38 लॉन्ग इयर्स इन इंडियन आर्मी, कैसा लग रहा है अब? सिविल लाइफ कैसी लग रही है? कैसा, हाउ वाज द एक्सपीरियंस ओवरऑल सर?
I think it was a really nice life which I had.
Sir.
A blessed life, I may say.
अच्छा,
Actually,
जी,
I was very lucky. You know, as a young child of 10 years, I qualified and went to सैनिक स्कूल तिलैया.
अच्छा, आप सैनिक स्कूल
में चला गया.
बाप रे बाप.
And then the environment was generally of defense only, with the principal and master all being from the defense.
जी.
And good discipline life we had.
अच्छा.
And then I was lucky, good education. The very first UPSC exam I gave after class 11th.
जी.
That time it was class 11 incidentally.
जी.
Not 12th.
अच्छा.
So I qualified the UPSC. I was lucky to qualify the the SSB, and I joined the India in 1981.
1981.
Yeah, correct.
अच्छा sir.
And after 4 years of training, I became an officer. So I joined the Air Defense Corps of the Indian Army.
अच्छा.
And actually, as you were saying, it was a blessed life. I really enjoyed every moment of life in the defense forces. I had a good time. I can just share with you that even within few months of my first posting, I was posted to the Siachen Glacier.
अरे वाह.
Yeah.
अच्छा.
So it was a very challenging,
हम civilians की तो सर वहाँ तक पहुँचने की राइट से नहीं है.
So it was a very challenging assignment, very interesting. I saw life on a glacier, how it could be.
जी.
And then subsequently life went on. As a captain, I was there in the valley, against the militants. I was assigned to fight the militants in the valley as a captain.
अच्छा.
And then I did the various courses.
जी.
I commanded the own unit where I got commissioned.
क्या
127 Air Defense Regiment.
अच्छा.
I commanded that.
हाँ, अफसर पहले बन के आया, उसी को
I commanded that.
क्या?
And then that was in Jammu and Kashmir. And then again, when I was lucky. All the important courses which you are, a good officer aspires to do, like the long gunnery staff course or the defense services staff course or the higher command. One was able to do that.
Achha.
I got very important assignments, and the last two assignments I would say were the most interesting.
क्या थे सर?
Yeah, so my second last appointment was the commandant of the Air Defense Center in Gopalpur. अच्छा. Very important assignment. जी. And then I was responsible to train all the recruits of the Corps of Air Defense.
अच्छा.
Very important assignments. I enjoyed that. And then the last was they say cherry on the cake. It was the president of the SSB in Allahabad.
Services Selection Board.
Yeah. So this is the appointment I really
biggest
enjoyed.
board of our country, Allahabad.
This is the appointment I really enjoyed.
Sir.
It was so nice to be able to talk to the young children of 18 years, 20 years, get to know their mind, and of course you interview them, you select them for the defense forces, whatever time it was. So that's how my life has been very, very interesting, very challenging and very enjoyable.
आज इतने दिन बाद ब्रिगेडियर साहब से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए दर्शकों ये वीडियो थोड़ी लंबी होगी, सर को इतनी जल्दी छोड़ेंगे नहीं. 38 लॉन्ग इयर्स ऑफ सर्विस सर पुश कहाँ से मिला? पेरेंट्स आपके फौज में थे या कोई कोचिंग उन दिनों हुआ करती थी? कैसे सोचा आपको कि फौज में अफसर बनना है?
This is a very interesting question, Abhinav, I must say.
Sir.
Honestly, I have no one in the defense forces in my family. No
Achha.
one at all.
Achha.
Neither from my parental side,
जी.
nor from my maternal side.
अच्छा.
I am the very first one who has joined the defense forces.
ये लेगेसी आपने स्टार्ट की?
Yeah, maybe.
अच्छा.
So push was maybe it was just matter of chance. Because sainik school those days were one of the best school in United States. Sainik school was known to be number one school in state of Bihar.
जी.
Which also is called Jharkhand now.
जी.
And I was good in academics. my father said कि बच्चे try कर लो exam शायद pass हो जाए. I appeared for the exam and I passed.
बस उसके
And I
बाद
went to Sainik school, and then it became like a motion without any stoppage. So you went to Sainik school. Everyone was having that Sainik kind of a background, and entire class appeared for the
NDA.
the NDA, and many of us in fact our batch is very large batch, about 34-35 of us, over 2-3 batches joined NDA. In our batch we got the defense that trophy also.
अच्छा.
So that was the push, you can say. And of course then, since I joined, my brother also joined defense forces. He is a doctor in the Indian Army. He joined
SSB. तो वो chain बना लिया आपने.
And since you asked this question, I will share with you that now even my daughter is a defense officer. She just volunteered in the Air Force.
क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है.
Now the legacy has started.
family tree बनाओ तो कहीं आर्मी, कहीं Air Force, कहीं डॉक्टर.
So I was the first one. But now my brother and my daughter, we are now there in the defense force.
क्या बात है sir. When you were posted in services selection board as the president, aspirants मैं आपको बता दूं, आपने मेरे मुंह से कई बार डेप्टी प्रेसिडेंट सुना था. जी हाँ, आज मैं बैठा हूँ प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड के साथ. No doubt, sir was retired now. However, that tenure यादगार होगा सर वो, क्योंकि डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट्स की लॉबी में कहा यह जाता है कि सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड इलाहाबाद भैया सबसे खतरनाक बोर्ड है, क्योंकि शायद वो बहुत बड़ा बोर्ड है, इसलिए जितने सिलेक्शंस हैं, रिकमेंडेशन है, उससे कहीं ज्यादा रिजेक्शन है. तो बहुत बार तो इलाहाबाद का नाम ही रिजेक्शन सेंटर रख दिया गया था.
I don't think that's
नहीं, फिर उसकी myth clear की.
That's a unfair comment on Allahabad.
अब बताओ, आपने बहुत कैंडिडेट्स को रेकमेंड किया है.
100%, many candidates were recommended. In fact, I will share with you, this is a totally wrong myth. Since this was being propagated on the social media, our commandant in Allahabad, he did a study with facts and figures from the our defense ministry, recruitment directorate, and we found out that the actual percentage of people getting recommended, percentage means people who come to the board versus people who are recommended, is exactly same. Exactly means the difference is in few point percentages. So Bhopal, Allahabad, or Bangalore, all are exactly same. There is no selection center and there is no rejection center. If you are good, if you have that, go in you will become an officer. Whether you go to Allahabad or you go to Bhopal or you go. बहुत
सारे त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी के स्टूडेंट्स इंटरव्यू रूम में पसीना छोड़ देते हैं, एंड आई एम श्योर छोड़ ही देते होंगे, बट विद योर पर्सनालिटी, इतने जोवियल नेचर के हैं, हंसी मजाक करते रहे हैं आप एज अ इंटरव्यू ऑफिसर, वो जो जब उस कमरे में आप बैठते थे, तो वर यू आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट इंटरव्यू ऑफिसर.
Let me tell you, actually, see, when we come to the selection center as interviewing officer, there is a very rigorous course that we do. We know that it's a very specialized course. We do a very rigorous course. Firstly, with DIPR, which is part of the DRDO in Delhi. Then we actually interview the candidates in many candidates in SSB on a practical basis, and only then we are selected. Okay. So a part of our training is that we make the candidate very comfortable. So it's again a myth that one is beside we may be a colonel or a brigadier, but with a candidate we are very soft. We ensure that he is very comfortable when he starts the interview. So that's how we go about it. Whether it is me or person B, all of us make an effort that the candidate is made very comfortable, made very easy before we start the interview.
Aspirants देख रहे हैं ना, ब्रिगेडियर रैंक ऑफिसर SSB बोर्ड के प्रेसिडेंट साहब रह चुके हैं, and he's so down to earth. Sir, कुछ ऐसे किस्से जो आपको सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड के याद हो, कोई ऐसा इंटरव्यू ऑन एन एवरेज अगर मैं पूछूं तो पूरे टेन्योर में आपने लगभग कितने इंटरव्यूज लिए होंगे?
See, normally we take about 20 interviews in a batch of 5. In a batch of 5 there, I mean one board. So in a month there are 5 batches. So you can we'll take about 100 interviews in a month. So even if you are on leave for about 2 months, in 10 months you will take about 1,000 interviews. So in my case, definitely I would have taken more than 3,000 interviews.
3,000
actual interview, and of course you also do screening. So in screening you do much more than that. Maybe about 10,000 candidates I would have screened in the on the day one.
So
And about 3,000 plus I would have, interviewed.
So the experience of over 10,000 candidates जिनकी screening ली है and over 3,000 candidates जिनका interview लिया है. मैं एस्पिरेंट्स आपको बता दूं, अभी हम ऑफ द स्टूडियो बात कर रहे थे तो सर ने कहा कि यार अब मेरा एम है कि झारखंड की मिट्टी से, रांची की मिट्टी से अफसर पैदा हों. What made you think like this? मतलब please pardon me, I'm not going into the financials, but एक ब्रिगेडियर रैंक का अधिकारी जो रिटायर हो चुका है उसको अच्छी पेंशन मिल रही होगी, बच्चे सेटल हैं, बिटिया एयरफोर्स में है, सो यू हैव अ वेल सेटल्ड लाइफ. अब आपको ऐसा क्या हो गया कि नहीं यार मेरे को झारखंड की मिट्टी से अफसर बनाने, रांची से अफसर बनाने, what made you think like this?
That's a very important and interesting question. But before that, I'll answer the earlier question which you asked.
Sir,
you asked about my experience as a interviewing officer in Allahabad. I can tell you, friends, it was phenomenal. I shared with you that in my 38-year service, I got a lot of important and lot of challenging assignments. I was the brigade commander of a AD brigade, which is part of a strike corps. Very important assignment. I said I was the center commandant of a AD center. I was responsible to train all the recruits who come to who join the Air Defence Force. But the assignment which I really enjoyed the most, was SSB. Because every day you talk to a young child, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, boy, girl, you see them struggling to, do well in life. You talk to them, and the best part is that unlike the interview of the say IAS or other services, where there is a panel, here interview is a very confidential interview. Interview is one-to-one with our interviewing officer in a closed room. So we get to know much more about the candidate. Many details which a candidate will perhaps not share in a group. So we become very emotionally connected to the candidate. So at times I can share with you, there are so many beautiful case studies which I had. There is no time in this interview to talk about that. But if I may talk about say maybe one of the incident, like I had a candidate who came for I think this entry. He was from a very, very poor background, very poor family, I think from Muzaffarpur in Bihar. That boy was so determined, Abhinav can tell you, मजा आ गया मुझे उस बच्चे को देख करके. He would get up at 4 o'clock, वो अपने गाय भैंस को वो चारा देगा. Then he would, get ready. He would do tuition for 2 hours because he had to earn some money to go to school. Then he would prepare for his, written exam and SSB. He appeared for the, school exams. He passed the UPSC. And then in the evening again he will do tuition. He was also looking after his own brothers and parents who were not very well. And his determination was so good. I found him to be such a good candidate. He passed with flying colors. He passed with me. He passed with the GTO. He passed with the psychology. So these are the candidates who really motivate you. There are so many good candidates who, and I'm very sure he would become excellent officer tomorrow in the defense forces. And now that he joined the Indian Army. So there are so many cases that we saw. And that's what I realized, that there are so many candidates who don't have the financials to perhaps go to a coaching center. And let's also be frank, there are many coaching centers where it's being run by people who perhaps may not have enough information about how to really prepare a candidate well. Of course, most of them luckily are having people who have been in the SSB, so of course they are doing a very good job. So as you were saying, I really could have just relaxed and played golf like most of my friends are doing. But I think no, just because the government of India is paying me extremely well as a pension, and they have ensured that I don't have to bother about my medicals, everything is paid for by the government. I thought this is a time to give back to the society. And when I was checking back, I was quite surprised that in the entire eastern India, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Assam, and to my surprise, even West Bengal, Calcutta being such a big city, there is no coaching center where there are officers who have been in the SSB who are posted. You can actually do good mentoring. So then I said something, you and me, we got to know each other, and he trusted me. And in fact, it is a win-win, it suited me. And here I am. I am so happy to be in Trishul Defence Academy, Ranchi, to be mentoring the children who come to us. And I feel so happy when many of them pass the SSB and they become officers of the defense.
It is a privilege for us, sir. It is a privilege कि आपने हमें चूज किया एस्पिरेंट्स। अक्सर मैं बोलता हूँ कि एसएसबी एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए एक चेतावनी देता हूँ कि आजकल गाइड करने से ज्यादा मिसगाइड करने वाले लोग आ गए, जो बोलते हैं कि ये कर लो तो ये हो जाएगा, ये ऐसे कर लो तो रिकमेंडेशन हो जाएगा। देयर इज नो टेलर मेड सॉल्यूशंस फॉर एसएसबी इंटरव्यूज, और ब्रिगेडियर साहब से अच्छा उदाहरण ये बताएंगे, ब्रिगेडियर साहब अपने क्लासेस में बताएंगे, ब्रिगेडियर साहब आपके पर्सनल इंटरव्यू सेशंस में बताएंगे, ब्रिगेडियर साहब की मेंटरशिप में त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी रांची अब सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड इंटरव्यूज के 14 दिन के बैच स्टार्ट कर रहा है। एस्पिरेंट्स, अ प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड एंड इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर, एक ऐसा अधिकारी जिसको 38 साल फौज के एक्सपीरियंस है, जिन्होंने इतने कोर्सेज किए हैं, ऐसे ऑफिसर के साथ यू विल एंजॉय द क्लासेस, कम एंड एक्सपीरियंस इट योरसेल्फ। जी हाँ, त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी रांची में अब सर्विसेज सिलेक्शन बोर्ड इंटरव्यूज के बैचेस स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं। अगर आप भी फौज में अफसर बनना चाहते हैं, अगर आप भी अपना करियर फौज में एज एन ऑफिसर देखना चाहते हैं, तो आज ही त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी रांची में आए, हमारे फ्रंट एंड टीम से सर से मिलने की रिक्वेस्ट करें, सर से मिलें और तभी एसएसबी में एनरोलमेंट कराएं। जी हाँ, सर 1-to-1 गाइड करेंगे, 1-to-1 बात करेंगे, उसके बाद ही हम लोग ये बैच स्टार्ट करेंगे। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू एंड विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट सर। थैंक यू एस्पिरेंट्स, बने रहिएगा त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी के साथ। थैंक यू, जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जहां बनते हैं देश के गौरव, इंडिया का एकमात्र ऐसा कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट जहां कैडेट्स को ट्रेन किया जाता है आने वाले डिफेंस एग्जाम के अनुसार। अगर आपका भी सपना है भारतीय सेना में शामिल होकर देश की सेवा करने का, तो आज ही ज्वाइन करें त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी।